for those of you who want to stick around with me, I'm going to go ahead and do an over the shoulder look. Hang on, I'll change my screen. Okay. For you, those of you who stare at numbers, if your head hurts, this may hurt your head just a little bit. I'm going to show you how the sausage is made. I'm going to log into a client account that we have been running micro budgets for a long while. We're spending 8 to 10 grand. We're spending 5 grand a day, I think at this point, maybe 4 grand. We've been up to 10 grand, all on micro budgets. I'm going to show you how I set it up. I'll show you the whole belt method. I'll show you what it looks like. Have you answered any questions? I'll show you the dollar a day strategy. I just haven't had a chance to work with this ad account much since I've been doing the trading. So I'll let you look over my shoulder and what I'm doing and go from there. Is that good? All right. So let me tell you what you're looking at. I'm going to show you. I'm going to just manage the account. Okay. I'll tell you a little bit about the business, a little bit about the ads that I'm looking to do. And you're going to be able to do this exact same thing if you wanted to do it all for yourself. So here's what we're going to do. Now I'm going to click on something right here that I call the golden ad report. This is what I show people to do inside the visible list. This one helps me read from left to on exactly what's going on. I'll just give you a high level view where I'm looking at the account, right? How many people did we actually end up reaching? What was our cost to reach those people? Just put the for sale sign on. And then this is one of the things I'm going to show you here in a minute. I'm really looking at these stats right here. These are actually custom stats that we show people inside the invisible list. And what these stats are, it tells me, okay, how many people are scrolling and stop the scroll? I'm looking for at least 35% of people who are watching my video to stop the scroll. 57% of people, the ad is shown to people stop. Whoa. Now I want to make sure people watch 15 seconds. I want to have a 35%. So we're looking for 35% for each hop. So 46, this is really good. 46, 38% of people. This means 38% of people stopped the scroll and watched for 15 seconds. See, what I do is I start to analyze videos, right? See, okay, are people stopping on the open hook rate? All the columns right here are custom named. They are absolutely custom. That you see here, video hook rate, hold rate. These are all custom metrics that are set up. Yep. This is inside the golden ad report. So what happens is I can tell who stops the scroll. I can tell who watches the video, who stops the scroll and watches the video. And look at this stat right here. So this number, 25% video view, is divided by 15 seconds. So if the video is under a minute, sometimes it'll show this number here. But here's what I'm looking for. 49% of the people stop the scroll. Of that, 40% of people watched 15 seconds. After that, 43% of people who watched 15 seconds watched the rest of the video. I know, hands down, this right here is going to crush it for me as a conversion ad. So many times what I do is I run videos for $1 a day, get these stats after 5 to 7 days. So I know if my video is working, is my content working, is the hook working? Could I use this as an ad? So that is something, again, we cover in the invisible list. Michael, I'm going to bounce over here for the question. Do you suggest micro budgets for content list retargeting? Yeah, I do. I do lots of, you'll see here, I do lots of middle and bottom of funnel micro budget ads. I'll show you right here. Absolutely. Yes. So good question. So when I log in for the day, I'm really looking at this. I'm just scrolling on through. I can't really change much for my CPM. Okay. I'm not even really going to look at that here. I'm just showing you the example. I'm going to see how my video creatives are doing, which ones I need to turn off. I'll show you that in a minute. And then you're going to see all these budgets, right? Look, most of my budgets that I'm running, $20. You can see some stuff I spent $75, some $100. Click-through rate. So this is how many people clicked on the ad or click-through rate of how many people clicked on the ad. How many people clicked on my link? The people who clicked on my link, did they hit my landing page? So we can tell, okay, is your landing page loading slow? Or people clicking on your ad, but they're just not making it to your landing page? That is the link click versus landing page. So this is another custom metric that as long as I see that 85% of people or more are clicking on my ad and making it to my webpage, I am a happy camper. Super happy. This is one of those distinctions where people are like, wait a minute, people are clicking on my ad, but no one's showing up for my webinar. A lot of times because they're not even seeing your website because it loads too slowly. Nope. The tags that I'm using right here, Cole, great question. I'm just using custom metrics, and I'm just using the Facebook meta reports right here to pull everything in. These are all custom metrics. Great question. Great. So this is basically for a doctor's office for a couple of different types of procedures that they have. The goal cost per lead they're looking at having is $50, but it's in the medical space. So yeah, there's a large range of prices. So if we're $8 over lead cost, that's totally fine. What I want you to focus on, your attention, is this. How much are we seeing for lead cost? So this is $58 overall. We're pretty much right in goal. But I want you to watch this number as we're clicking through the account, $58. And here's the other number that I'm looking at. Remember I said all the hops? So if we have 30% of the people typically go to the page and opt in, that's what we're looking for. But these products and services are from $500 to $30,000, $500 to $30,000. So we are looking at a total, almost like a sale. 8% of the people who visit the website fill out a lead. That is great for us. Really great. Again, if we're above that 5%, even in this account, we're doing great. But for most of you, you want a 3 to 5% conversion rate for the landing page. Okay. All right. So let's get started. Check this out. Here's my golden ad report. Here's how I'm going to look at everything. So the first thing is geek out about this is I'm going to go ahead and type in top. That's for my naming convention. So top, that's going to pull up all of my top of funnel ads. Just to be clear, these are cold market ads. Next thing, I want to see what ads are actually running. I don't care what's off right now. What ads are running? Top of funnel, active ads, gives me all my ads. The first thing I'm going to show you is I'm going to go ahead and choose objectives. These are actually sales and lead events. It's interesting. I set up this custom conversion sales event and we're getting cheaper leads by optimizing for sales. Yeah, interesting. Anyway, I want to show you first the content that I run top of funnel so you can see how the belt method works. Okay. Now, I'll just show you right here. You can start to figure this out when you see what kind of doctor's office this is. But right here, Joe Rogan called out the company and said, I've had a really amazing result with stem cell. So this is a testimonial calling us out. And yes, it's a celebrity, but it absolutely can work for testimonials. Now, just to be clear, for video views, I don't care if they book obviously this is super expensive. I don't care. What I want to do, so I've had amazing results. I target, look at this, 30 different audiences for $2 a day with this very specific video. I'll actually just pull it up and show you. It's fine. It's public. So it's okay. And there we go. So check this out. So what's going to happen is for just $2 a day, what I'm doing is I'm running it to all these different types of interests. I'll even show you what one of my interest clusters are just so you can see. And if Jeremy's still on the call, Jeremy, you may know these guys. They're UFC's partners. Okay. So I'm going to scroll on down so you see my interests. So I exclude any way that someone can engage with my brand for a cold market. So when I tell clients that we are targeting a cold market, I have excluded every single way that someone could engage with our brand because I only want to deal with people who are new to the brand, who've never seen our brand before. That's it. All I want to do. So just to be clear, I am looking at the $1 a day strategy. The $1 a day strategy is the only strategy I run at the ABO level, unless we're doing advanced ad techniques. Okay. So we are doing I'm showing the $1 a day. I'm showing this as an ABO. So you're going to see, I'm just going to click on this and I'll go back to the ads, but this is one campaign. This is one creative, one campaign, 30 different audiences. In this audience specifically, scroll on down, I'm going to exclude every single way that someone could be engaged with our brand. I'm going to target 30 to 65 because that's our age group. Oh, by the way, this is a doctor's office. So this doctor's office, there's a lot of people who can't qualify for the funds. So Ed, this is if Ed's still on who does the dentist stuff, this is perfect for Ed. So essentially what we end up doing is we get a big list of people who just financially didn't qualify for the services. We're doing high end ticket or high ticket, right? So we take a whole bunch of people who haven't qualified over the last couple of months, as long as they add up to 250. And I turn those into negative lookalike audiences. See, do not qualify people list of the last year of who didn't qualify for this hospital. I take it, did lookalike audiences of 1% to 3% and excluded those types of people from our ads. So now what left is US. I'm targeting all genders. I'm targeting jujitsu. And I'm also targeting people must have a high net worth, frequent indicate international travelers. Because if you're an international traveler, you typically have money, top incomes. And by the way, we only advertise on Instagram. Look at that. That's it. I'm only running this ad in Instagram feed, Instagram Explore, Instagram stories, Instagram Reels. That's it. That's it. Let me show you this here, what this looks like. Edit some weird little error with the account that turns it into a prep thing, but check this out. All right. Sorry.
I have too.
You did in your shoulder, right? They want
Yeah.
to give you surgery?
What did you see?
I had a full-length rotator cuff tear in my shoulder. It completely fixed it.
No way.
Completely fixed it. The
My
doctor was
labrum was
blown away.
tore on my left
What?
shoulder, fixed it.
What?
Yeah.
So you shoot it in the local spot and
Yes.
the cells
Yes.
know to go there?
MRI, no, MRI, and then
What?
they take an ultrasound and they hit it from 4 different angles. Yeah.
It cured you, Eddie.
And then
So
so
both my shoulders.
and it actually
I needed
cured
surgery.
the tear.
Dude, I feel no
Yeah,
pain
it-
in my shoulders
they-
100%. I
They
can lift weights.
do
I'm lifting
amazing
hard
things
now.
with stem cells.
I wasn't able to before.
Stem cells are
Like-
pretty amazing.
Like bench press would kill.
I read
you.
Look, I've had amazing results with stem cells.
You have to.
You did in your shoulder, right? They want
Yeah.
to give you surgery?
What did you see?
I had a full-length
Hang on one
rotator
second.
cuff tear in my shoulder. It completely fixed it.
No way.
Completely fixed it. The
My
doctor was
labrum
blown
was
away.
tore on my left
What?
shoulder, fixed it.
What?
Yeah.
So you shoot it in the local spot and the cells
Yes.
know to go there?
Okay,
MRI.
so I
and
have
they
a text
take
message where this is
ultrasound.
running. So all of this is a testimonial. So yes, it's Joe Rogan, and yes, it makes a difference if it's Joe Rogan. But if it's a testimonial, you literally can just have a headline for the testimonial. That's what we're looking for. I have lots of other testimonials I can show you in a minute. This just happens to be with Joe Rogan, but unequivocally, just the testimonial itself. This is not a long form post. It's just a headline. That's it. The ad, what it looks like is it's right here. It says get quote, and this is what in the reel. There's no other copy. And right here, it literally just has a button. That's it. Pretty easy. Okay. And let me see here. All right. So you're going to see, just as an example, is I have 3 different testimonials that work really well. And I run these to the same 30 type of audiences. That's it. So I run video views, top of funnel for $1 a day. This is $3 a day for the main reason is 2 big reasons. I can get people to watch this entire video for about 20 cents. And the audience cost, it costs me about $5 to get in front of 1,000 people. $5 to get in front of 1,000 people. Let's go ahead and turn this around and let's take a look at leads and sales. Oh, by the way, look at these. I want to just show you these metrics here just real quick. Look at this hook rate. Of the people this ad is shown to, over 50% of the people stop the scroll. It's exactly what I'm looking for. Out of the people who stop the scroll, 35% or more are moving, watching, listening to, or watching 15 seconds. It's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people. This one, people don't watch as long as this back one right here. But right here, the completion rate is amazing. I knew that these videos would work great as conversion ads. Great. So here's what this looks like. Let's turn it into conversion ads. And right here. So here's what happens. These are all $20 a day budgets. Okay. So what I'm going to do, these are all different types of creatives. Let's do one, which is an easy one. What I would say is, no, let's try this. Right here. This is a doctor testimonial. Somebody who just gave us a testimonial. you're going to see where, like I said, that when I duplicate campaigns, you can see how many times I've duplicated 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 right here. Like I've just duplicated these a lot because this testimonials worked out really well. So check this out. Oops. Sorry, I didn't click on the right one. There we go. And this doctor right here. We love when influencers are doing testimonials because that's what we're really looking for. And if I do this.
Okay, friends, here's my recap from my trip to CPI stem cells in Tijuana. For the better part of 2 decades, I skied like this. And turns out that puts a little bit of wear and tear on your body. After the massive injury that I had last year, I started to explore my options within regenerative medicine. I landed on CPI stem cells, and here's a recap of my first trip. I arrived to a beautiful center overlooking the ocean, got an IV, NAD, Myers, and ozone. First day was a pretty long day because then it was off to the imaging center where I did multiple MRIs, spent about 2 hours in the MRI machine doing my cervical spine, thoracic spine, lumbar spine, and right shoulder, as well as a CT scan on my right leg. Then the owner, Scotty, took the group out to dinner. We got to share a great conversation with the other folks in the group. Next day, went over the EKG and some blood work with my doc and came up with the plan for the week. And more IV therapy. Got some work done and looked out again over the beautiful ocean view. One of the owners, Scotty, came to provide a little info and some comedy.
The great part of that shell over time pushed the outer wall and filling ultra the wall thicker. It's like shock absorber, thicker energy. I feel great from the kidney.
And I reviewed my imaging with my managing provider. We looked at my lumbar MRI and identified one bulging disc that we did not end up treating. My cervical spine, we ended up treating most of the facets and 1 disc, 2 discs in the thoracic spine. My leg has a lot of metal in it. We know that. There's a partial tear in my shoulder. Next day, arrived to the beautiful new hospital, fasted, and my private room with my own bathroom and TV. I was feeling pretty nervous, of course, but at the same time confident with everything I'd experienced so far. I did wake up from the procedure in quite a lot of pain, which I was warned about. They are not messing around when they tell you it's going to hurt, and that's a good thing. The stem cells are stimulating an immune response. Next day, we went into the hyperbaric oxygen chamber, and we all know how I love to talk about the healing powers of oxygen. So check out my previous posts on ozone and HBOT. And then it was off to the clinic for ozone and IB stem cells. I ended up doing my face and neck area as well. Overall, I was super impressed with CPI stem cells and the care that I received, feeling good. I'm excited to share my experience with CPI because I really believe in the regenerative power of stem cells, and I hope that everyone knows about this incredible resource. Okay, friends.
Okay, so what made this work besides everything? A lot of our spend is going through here right now. This video actually beats out Joe Rogan's video by a double. So how do we get somebody who's a celebrity endorsement? Great. Like that worked out, and which is nice. It's a celebrity endorsement. We don't pay him anything for it. He just really likes these guys, so he calls them out. But what works with this video? Everything that I've been mentioning. For example, number 1, this is a great long form post that talks about the entire experience. So a lot of the times we're just waiting on people to click to find out more information. Not clickbait, we are qualifying people, but this is a long form post, right? That's great. Now, next thing right here. Now, she did some really good editing to this video, right? And there are some easy apps out there that can make you do some easy editing like this. But what did she do? It is a personal experience, number 1. Huge. That's why we want to get as many testimonials as possible. That's why I want to, that's why we schedule a 3-hour webinar. I'm happy to talk for 5-hour webinars because I want to earn your testimonial as well. And you should do the same thing for your customers, not only to do a good job, but on the other side of it, out of her perspective, her voice, she told about her experience, what she went through, what it was like when she was there, what were the different treatments that she went through, how did she feel with it, what was it like towards the end? And as you wrap the whole thing up, like she's gone through the experience, what's her overall opinion? Sometimes we work with influencers like this because we can't create ads like this. Because sometimes an influencer will come by or a testimonial or literally one of you, like the testimonial that Michael gave me. He said a couple of things in there. Oh my goodness, it's so amazing. We can run that as an ad. And because Michael, his facial expressions, the way that he said it, I wouldn't even dreamt that I should have done that in a script. And coming from Michael is completely different. That just makes a huge difference. This ad works really well because it really incorporates everything. It incorporates an individual user, what their experience was. They walk through the experience. So it was like if you were selling coaching, for example, and you have a coaching client who does a testimonial and talks about where they were at before, what it was like when they joined you, what the whole process has been like. What would they say to someone else who's about ready to make that decision? Huge difference. Huge difference. Great winning control. Let's see this over here. Let's see here. Original, we have how to build out the golden ad report is in the back of the belt method. This has been advanced golden ad report that I have in here just because as we've been learning over time, it's just been enhanced. So no, the new report is going to be inside the invisible list, but it's not inside of our training right now. All right, so let's take a look at this. Okay. Here's how I'm going to cut, prune, and grow. And the client's actually been texting me right now and they're like, hey, look, we got to get some more leads. And I'm like, I'm actually in the ad account right now. I'll take care of that right now. So let's do that. Okay. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to cut. Okay. Oh, Rochelle. Okay. Campaign 111 is now launched. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about. Yes. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I have top of funnel, 102 different campaigns that are run. First thing, cut. Number one, cut. Okay. So what I'm going to take a look at, notice I'm running a high dollar budget here. Everything else pretty much $20, $30 a day. I'm going to sort by spend. How much did you spend? You see all of these higher level budgets right here. I'll just check them off right here. These are budgets I adjust from 197. I don't know. I adjust from 197 to 297, 397. I'm testing all different types of budgets here, but watch this. All right. I'll go ahead and hide this. Okay. I am looking at stats for the month. Because I look at this daily, I want to see how are these larger budget campaigns doing today. Click on the button. Again, I'm looking for, my goal is I'm going to move this to budget, short budget. Remember, my goal is I'm looking for leads that are less than $50. Okay. So if I look at today, let's see here. Just a second. I'm replying back to something real quick. Just a second. Sorry about that delay. Okay. So let's take a look at today. Today, this one spent $161, hasn't gotten the lead whatsoever. So it's already spent $161. I'm going to put this at 197. So it just pretty much stopped spending. Okay. This one had gotten $33 leads. Again, I am looking at $50 leads. So that's good. So I'm just going to double the budget. 297. This one's getting $30 leads. I'm going to do this one at 297 as well. And this one's getting $20 leads. That's great. This is going to go to 397. See, sometimes I can jump spend from 100 to 300. It could fluctuate, maybe not, but I'll show you what that looks like here in just a couple of minutes, how I got diversity from these small micro budgets. But watch this. Okay. 397, $98 a sale. So I'm just going to leave this at 197. All right. I need to show you something. So I use this for clients. We will teach this later, but again, this is you looking over my shoulder, watching me work. This is a tool that I use that really helps me out. And it's super simple. So here's what happens. I have a calculator that builds out. So you're pretty much always on budget. So I'm going to spend $50,000 this week for this client. Okay. I need to take a look at what has spend been through so far, Monday through Friday. So I'm just going to show you live here. Like I said, I'm just working the account anyway. I forgot to do this because I got to set up budgets so I know how much I can grow. So watch this. This is, I need to look for how much money I have spent so far, Monday through Thursday, since today's Friday. We have spent $27,445. I'm going to go ahead and add that right here. And again, if you are inside the Belt Method training, I'll give you access to calculators like this and stuff like that. Everything that I'm playing with inside of the Belt Method 2.0, I'll give you access to all this stuff. Okay. There are 3 days remaining in the week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right there. 3. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. This right here shows me how much I need to spend every single day to hit my budget. This shows me what's my current budget right now. And I'm going to show you how we got there. Let's see here. Look at this. It's funny. The client that's texting me right now. They're like, we've had just an amazing week. Oh my goodness. They had almost 60 people enroll into their program. 60. I think it's going to be a 7-figure week just in revenue. Oh yeah. They're texting me right now. That's absolutely what it is. I love this business. Okay. All happening in real time. Now watch this. So everything in yellow is what I'm going to fill out. Everything is a calculator. Oh, also I'm trying to get 1,200. We're trying to get 1,200 leads for the week. How many leads do we have right now? We have 432. It's really low, but we have some Google stuff running. Okay. Ooh, with my budget, I have to average $26 a lead. Right now, my leads are like $50. So I really got to bring down lead costs and crank up Google. But here's what's going to happen next. I'm going to go over to my top of funnel budget. Okay. Type in top. Next thing I'm going to do is I want to make sure I'm looking at only the active ads. And I want to make sure I'm looking at only the leads and sales ads. So just a minute. Here's what this looks like. All right. Leads. Come on. Sales, leads. All right. There we go. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at, so I looked at performance today for the larger ad budgets. I'm going to look for performance over the last really 7 days to see how all my little micro budget babies are doing. Should call that micro budget baby training. Right? There we go. Okay. So these are all of my, I'm going to sort by spend. These are my higher spend campaigns. Now, sometimes, like I said, I will test $20. How's $20 working? Sometimes I'll test $30 campaigns on stuff that's working. I just decided one day, why not just test $60? Is that the highest? And I see from the client, what works better? Is it $10, $20, $30, $40? One time I just needed more leads. So I tripled 30 to 60 to see if it made a difference. And it didn't. Now here's what I'm going to do with my eyes, which I want you to do with your eyes too. Okay. I don't need to adjust any of this. I need to start working from this all the way on down. All we're going to do is I want your eyes to look at this 8 and 42. We got more than a handful of leads. That's good. Means it's consistent. It's at $42 below goal. Let her ride. Just leave it alone. Okay. Everything's going great. Look at that. 11% conversion rate versus the high stuff is like 6%, 9%, 6%. There's only one that's 10, but these micro budget campaigns are just really, these micro budget campaigns really just convert so much more. But I want you to follow my eyes, and anything that's above $70, we're going to turn off. Okay. So I'm just going to go down, scroll with my mouse. That's 112. I'm going to turn that. I'm going to turn that off. 112. 42 is good. 57 is fine. 57 is fine. Sometimes I leave stuff on. It's a little bit higher because the averages work out. $85. It's above 70. I'm going to turn that one off. So let's see. I'm going to keep on. Again, I'm just looking at this number right here. Is it a below fit relatively 50? Now, honestly, I've been working on some client proposal or I've been working on this training and not as much in the account. This shouldn't go $168. Okay. This one spent $123. Didn't get a sale. I would have spent usually $60, just got a little busy. Here's the interesting thing though. Even though things got busy, because there's so much diversification, it just works. If I was running like $4,000 a day in 2 different campaigns and one just shit the bed one day, oh my God, it could be disastrous. 39, 29 is great. 59, 58. This one spent here 115. I'm going to turn that one off. Keep going. 38. 115. I'm going to turn that one off. 57 is close enough. And then let's see these. That's 100, didn't get anything. 57, that's fine. 114, way too high. 57, looks like I typically only spend $60 before I turn these off. I just didn't watch it yesterday close enough. So I'm going to fix that. And let's see here. That's 113, 114. Oh, these are really higher. I'm going to turn off this 113 here, 113 here. See, we keep on scrolling down. Come on, Facebook. 113. I need to turn that off. I need to turn that off because there's no sales there. Look at that. $16 leads. That's what I'm looking for micro budgets. Look at that. 21% conversion rate in a cold market. That's ridiculous. For a lead for a $5,000 to $30,000 plus medical thing. Yeah. Yeah. It's a little crazy. Okay. 56, close enough. That's 100. Look at all these 27s. They're great. I'm going to keep going. Again, you do this for smaller accounts. Just when an agency runs stuff for you, we're just testing more. That's it. This is what it should look more like. I let it run for about 3 or 4 days before I turn it off. Usually we'll spend $60 to $80 total before I turn it off. So let's just turn it off. Turn that one off. $41. That's fine. $80. That's too high. Almost done here. $80 too high. $80 is too high. Wow, $79 too high. These two didn't make any. Notice I got 30 campaigns out of my 100 that aren't working. That's okay. I can double up. Watch how fast this is going to work. $80. Get that off. 78. Yep, it's above the 70 mark. A couple more 78s. Need to turn those things off. And we're going to look at these in just a second to figure out what ads they are and why they may be just working here. Okay. Or maybe why they're not working. Again, I don't really give a discern. Like I'm not even looking at what's the ad creative, what's working, what's not. I'm just turning stuff off. I'll analyze the stuff that works in a minute. I'm going to let this run for another day. So none of these have spent enough. Okay. I got 39 campaigns. I'm going to click this button right here. Let's go ahead and filter all these rows. I got 39 different campaigns that didn't work right now. So I got a micro budget. These are the conversions. I know that I'm booking a call for a doctor, cold market, advertising in Instagram, all devices. Okay. This is a video that says, why would you get this done in Mexico? So I'm just going to roughly scan. Is there like one specific ad creative? No, some of them work, some of them don't, but it doesn't look like there's one specific ad creative that's showing up over and over. I have a lot of these doctors that are launched right now. This doctor ad that you saw, sometimes she works, sometimes it doesn't, but okay. Just looking down. Yeah, I'm not seeing one ad standing out where it seems like they're having lots of different issues. Let's just take a look. The stuff that we're about ready to turn off, we spent $4,000. Look at that. Lead cost, I should have been ahead of this a little bit. Lead cost was $137. Have no fear. Watch this. Turn off, publish. Great, they're done. Now, here's where I'm going to bring in my budget. What I'm going to do is, as this is uploading, I'm going to look at all the ads that are running right now that's just content. This is literally the belt method, okay? So this is just content. This pre-qualifies our audience. It's the exact right audience we're looking for with the exact very first creatives that we want them to see. So right now on content top of funnel, I am spending $252 a day. I'm going to enter that right here, $252 for content. Okay. I'm spending $252 in content top of funnel. Click on this over here. Now let's take a look at just my lead ads. That's all of this right here. Click on budget. Because it's all CBO, all they do is click this button, scroll on down because we have an entire budget. If there were CBO and ABO, I'd have to add it up manually. That stuff sucks. So right there, CBO, $2,900 a day. I'm going to put that right here. Oh, wow. I turned off like $700 in ads. Okay. This is how much money I have to spend today. So I've turned some stuff off. As I add some stuff, it tells me exactly how much money I still need to create campaigns for today. So I got to create a lot of new campaigns with you here right now, which is going to be great. Oh, Alan, did you say I missed one of 168? You're amazing. I'll take a look at that in just a second. Thank you for that catch. Okay. Now, which I'll catch here in just a second. So here's all my micro budget campaigns. let's see here. Where did Alan say that I missed? This is scrolling. Oh, 168. Good catch. It's like a whack-a-mole. That's exactly what it is. Next time we do a training, Nick and I should have a little wrestler doing a whack-a-mole. All right. So the stuff that's running, $52.30, right at goal. Exactly what I'm looking for. Okay. I'm going to go through middle of funnel next and then bottom of funnel. I'm going to show you how that works. And then I'm going to create a bunch of new ads. Okay. I am looking at questions along the way. If you have any questions whatsoever, just let me know. Happy to answer any questions you have along the way, but I'm absolutely watching this. Okay. So when I say watching this, watching the comments. Sorry about that. And Alan, thank you so much for your help. Really appreciate it. All right. Thanks, John. I really appreciate that. Okay. So let's take a look at middle of funnel. So middle of funnel. Now, middle of funnel are people who have engaged with our brand. Top of funnel. Remember, I exclude all of these warm middle of funnel audiences, right? So at top of funnel, I'm only targeting cold people. So either you're watching a video view, you're completely cold, or you're clicking on an ad in a completely cold market, because every other way that someone's engaged with us, I've excluded that. Now, let's talk about middle of funnel. So this is middle of funnel. I am only going to show you, I'm going to show you everything, but this is ethical propaganda. So people who have engaged with the brand, I can tell you, because you've already seen this already and seen the ad, this client is all about stem cells. Stem cells can help lots of different things. So it gives us lots of different angles and creatives. Now I'm going to be very open with you. Is back pain. Back pain is some of the worst pain that you can feel, that you want to get it fixed right away. You will move heaven and earth and hell and everything to fix the back pain. A shoulder problem or a knee problem, you can get through that. Back pain, people who relate to back pain, they want that fixed now. Think about that for your customer. What's their biggest pain point that you want to have testimonials talking about solving? Okay. So look at this. I have middle of funnel, ethical propaganda. I have 8 different campaigns that are running. Now, if I look back, by the way, at my top of funnel stuff, in my budget, 92% of my budget is leads and sales, is lead campaigns top of funnel. Only 7% of my entire budget is content top of funnel. So it's a very small percentage of content I need to run top of funnel to pre-qualify people. Most of my budget is top of funnel, right? If I'm looking at top, middle, bottom of funnel, over half of my budget is going to be cold ads, and most of my budget's going to be leads. I spend just a little bit of money top of funnel to pre-qualify people. Usually it's less than 10% of my top of funnel budget for top of funnel. Okay. Now, middle of funnnel. Oh yeah, I'm going to be spending more on content middle of funnel because people have already engaged with us. Now I want to show them ethical propaganda. Cool. That's exactly right. Let me simplify this a little bit more. Number one, top of funnel. Top of funnel is totally cold. I want to make sure I exclude people who looked at my Instagram, went to my website. When I talk to a client, I want to say, I know I'm targeting a brand new cold person. That's cold. Middle of funnel has, in this context for this client, is they have clicked on the website or watched a video or engaged with the brand in the last, this is very important, in the last 28 days. So they saw our content, but they haven't done anything else over a 28-day period. We call this the hot 28. That means people in the last 28 days who haven't made a decision. So imagine these are interested parties, but it wasn't just a couple of days ago. It's been over the course of a month. So here's the magic trick of what happens. Okay. Watch this middle of funnel. So I have all these different campaigns. So what do people need to know before they get stem cells? First thing is they need to know about what's the hospital? What are the owners like? So I created a middle of funnel campaign all around. What's the center? I have 18 different videos that are running. 18. I don't even need the videos to get me leads, but it gets me leads. But I have 18 very different videos that are running. And I spend more than $1 a day. I start at $1, go to 2, 3, 4, 5. But I want to make sure people are seeing my content. Now, I want to show you just one of the biggest kind of ahas I hope you get from the training, because this is where the meat, potatoes, meat. I'm going to change up my other golden ad report to right here. This is important. I have 18 different ad creatives running to my middle of funnel The average person only sees 2 of them. That means when someone logs into Facebook, they're always seeing different content of mine. They're not seeing the same Joe Rogan ad. They may see a Joe Rogan ad at first, and when they click on it, oh my God, for the next 28 days, they're going to see all these people talking about this institute. They're going to see all these ads right here. They're going to see 18 different types of ads for the hospital, but Facebook is only going to show 2 of these ads to people over a 30-day period. Facebook finds the right person at the right time to show the right piece of content to. That's the whole thing I talked about in the relevance that I showed you before, how Facebook works this out. The $1 a day just crushes it. So ethical propaganda. I want to get people in front of this so it changes their belief system. I want to align their belief system. So watch this. We talked about back pain. Okay, we're going to talk about back pain. We're going to talk about 7 testimonials we have about back pain, about people talking about back pain. Look at this. 59% of the people stop the scroll. Almost 50%, almost 35% of people are watching all the videos. Like, people are just consuming this crazy. And all these testimonials, people will watch these testimonials at pennies. They'll watch do you care if someone watches a testimonial for 12 cents? If they're going to spend $5,000 to $30,000 with you? You don't care. And again, so what's going to happen here, again, with these video testimonials is the frequency. You're only going to see two in a month of these testimonials here. So that means, look at this. The average person is going to see 2 videos about back pain. The average person in 30 days is going to see 2 videos about owner information. There's a lot of MMA people, jiu-jitsu people inside there. They work with the UFC. They're partners with the UFC. So lots of testimonials from prize-winning fighters. The average person sees 2 of those. Partner testimonials. That means when a celebrity or a well-known individual has a good following and then they tag our page and we run those as ads, average person is going to see about 2 of those. This is new content that was produced in May. So anytime that new content's produced, these 1-minute reels, there we go. They're $1 a day that I'm going to run. And when I'm testing out this $1 a day for all this content, I'm looking for content just like this. What does this one say? This is what I'm looking for. Good completion rate, good hook rate. Let's see. What is this? Jason shares his stem cell testimonial of how he healed. Yeah, this is one of our best ads. Absolutely. Right here. Here's a really good one right here. So I can see just through the $1 a day strategy what I should test in the $20 budgets. So look at this. My ethical propaganda. All the information someone needs to understand before they make a decision. New content. We did a commercial with the UFC, so I ran that commercial here, and then new content for June and July. So the average person in a month with this client is going to see 5 different pieces of content through all of this. I think you should be able to see now how powerful like the whole belt method is, for example, is that people who aren't engaged or people who engage with the brand who haven't bought, they're literally going to log into Facebook every single day and see content from us, but it's always going to be different. And it's always going to be the best content that Facebook believes that this person should see. This gives us extremely good relevance overall in the ad account. We have not had an ad account shut down in over 7 years for more than 24 hours as a clerical mistake. So when people are like, man, we get ad accounts shut down all the time, I'm just burning money. It's usually because they're not doing any of this ethical propaganda, no branding, no follow-up, none of that stuff. Okay. So this is all of my ethical propaganda middle of funnel. Again, they have not become a lead. They've engaged with us. So just to be clear, I run ABO, $1 a day. So it's one campaign for like testimonials and then lots of ad sets at $1 a day per testimonial per ad. So this is what you would call 130. Yeah, it's like a 130 and 1. So one campaign, in this case, it's 76 different ad sets, but each ad set only has one ad. When I am running ethical propaganda, it is a 1, 1, and 1. That's it. Ethical propaganda is a 1. Well, sorry. Ethical propaganda is a 1 campaign, like testimonials in a campaign. You can have as many ad sets as you want. I've actually just seen a client screw this up and it's working well. He has 165 ad sets for some reason. I usually go to 50, but each ad set in the middle of funnel is targeting the same audience, middle of funnel. Each ad set has one ad. I am forcing Facebook to run this one specific video to a very specific audience. This is a cattle corral for just this video. I want people to watch these videos. So if I had all of these videos, someone asked me this question before. If I had all these videos and I clicked CBO, Facebook would only show 3 or 4 of these videos. Facebook wouldn't show all of them. No, I want every single video shown to the right person at the right time. I know what I want. I don't need Facebook to tell me what they want. Huge difference. Okay, let's take a look. Whoops, I need to click on ad set. Come on, live active ads. What is my budget? Middle of funnel. Come on. Budget 226. All right. So 226. Great. I'm going to do the exact same thing for sales. This is going to move faster and faster as I'm explaining it. I'm just going to go ahead and take a look. Let's go ahead and yes, let's look at sales leads. This is all CBO. All right. I'm going to go to, I don't need all these stats when I'm just looking at the budget. So I go to something I set up called short budget. Again, let's take a look at sort by amount. Great. Here are my 3 different campaigns that I'm running middle of funnel with higher budgets. Let's just take a look just at those. I want to take a look at high budgets just for today. It looks like, I always like to look in stats, FYI. And again, we talked more about this in the belt method. I do look over stats within the last kind of 3 or 4 days, but I'm always looking at this 7 days. Is my average for 7 days good? I'm looking for my average. We're looking for $50 leads. Yeah, it's good. $62, that sucks. It all evens out. It's fine. Just let it run. And if I look over the last 30 days, oh yeah, these are totally fine. There's nothing I need to do with them whatsoever. But then what I do once a day is I come in here midday like it is right now. All right, let's take a look at this. Okay, this is right on track. This is span $170, no leads. So I'm just leave it at 197, see if it'll spend. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to change this to 147. It hasn't made a sale in this much. Same thing here. Oh, this is good. Look at that. $27, the $27 leads. I'll just go ahead and hit 300. Again, if you're spending $100 a day and then you hit 300, I probably wouldn't do that on one campaign, but I'm so diversified here. If this one shits the bed, it's totally fine because everything else will make up for it. But what I can really look at is if we have 4 leads already and I'm looking for $50 leads, that's worth $200. So even if it goes to 200, doesn't make another sale, I'm still good. Let's just see what happens here. All right. That is my higher end budgets for middle of funnel. Let's get rid of those. And let's go into micro budgets. Actually, we'll just pull this up here real quick. I'll show you. Micro budgets. Let's just see what the comparison of the numbers are this week. So let's do name doesn't contain micro. So these are non-micro budget campaigns. Should just be a couple of them. Just take a look. All right. So overall for the last week, these non-micro budget campaigns got $58 leads at an 8% conversion. So remember, $58 leads, 8% conversion. Let's turn on micro, see what they say. So $58 leads, 8% conversion, 58 and 8. What do we get here? Look at that. Same ad creatives, different budgets. How do we go from $47 targeting the same people? Last one was 58. Why is this conversion rate 12%? They're the same ads. This is why I get so excited about these micro budgets because they just make a huge difference. Richard, I see a question here. So the higher end budgets, do you increase the budget and micro budgets? Do you duplicate the campaigns? Yeah, pretty much. You're exactly right, Richard. You're exactly right. Yeah. With higher campaigns, what I would used to do is I would up it 30% because I'm running like 3 or 4 campaigns and I'm going to up 30% in one campaign, wait a couple of days and see what happens. Now, because I'm so diversified with all these micro budgets, if I see a campaign that's really hitting it as a responsible adult, what I should be doing is if I see, let's just say there's 5 or 6 leads made for $100, 6 leads, I'm willing to pay 50. 6 times 50 is what? 300? I get that right? 6, 5, 3, 4. Yeah, 300. Okay. So I'm willing to spend up to $300 because if I'm spending $197 or $100 right now, and if I just put it to 300, even if we don't make any more sales, I'm still at goal. If it does make sales or leads, oh my goodness, I'm really far ahead. That's great. What I do here, I just get a feeling for it. It's, oh wow, I've already seen 4 leads pop off at $25. I'll just raise it from 197 to 397. Let's see what happens for the rest of the day. Sometimes I get it right. Sometimes I get it wrong. But if you look at the 7-day average and the 30-day average, it works out. So if I'm more diversified, I'll jump spend faster in individual campaigns. But again, if I just let it run, let's see here. Yeah, if I just let it run regularly with just 3 or 4 campaigns, it would start to kind of tank. But it's really easy for me just to adjust the budgets willy-nilly, whatever. All right, let's take a look at spent. There we go. I want to take a look over the last 7 days. What do we got here? All right. 116, 57, 23, 57, 1 to 14, 57, 57. At least 57's kind of up a little bit, huh? All right. And I did start a bunch of campaigns yesterday. It doesn't really look like they've done too much at all. I got 113 straight. Okay. So it's at $47 overall. I'm going to go ahead and turn those 2 off. Reginald, you have really good questions. I love this. This is great. So it's really interesting that you say this. This is probably the best way to say this. So originally what we do, and actually we may do this actually for the belt method. Maybe that is an interesting idea that we can do. So here's what we do for a client. A client comes to us, and I'm going to tell the story in 2 ways. Client comes to us. Number one, we'll do the client side, then I'll give you the Mike Dillard version. The client side comes over to us, and when a client wants to hire us, we ask a bunch of questions to make sure that they have a proven offer first. And if they have a proven offer and we decide that we like each other and we do business with each other, it's a 4-call onboarding process. Call number 1, I'm going to ask you what I like to say is my 57-point checklist. What are your goals, hopes, aspirations? Tell me about your company. Who is your avatar? I'm trying to build out advertising primer or primer from what the client tells me. I want a document that gives me all the information I can possibly get about their customer, what their wants and needs are, all of their research. I want everything so I can write better headlines and stuff like that. Now with AI, I'm able to upload all of that content, ask some better questions. But on our very first call, it's a ton of questions to understand what content do they have? What do they not have? Like I always say, it's no right or wrong answers. Just tell me what you have. Call number 1. Call number 2. I explained to them the belt method. I have a whole presentation where I say, just let you know, when I'm going to run your traffic, here's how I'm going to run it. If I was to explain what I'm explaining to you guys right now, most people would just cross their eyes and I have no idea what you're doing. So I have some fun presentations. It's basically, hey, look, I'm going to pre-qualify people top of funnel with videos. I'm going to make sure that the people who don't become sales and leads right away get ethical propaganda middle of funnel. I'm going to show for a couple of dollars how we can prove out your creatives. And I show the whole belt method strategy. So the client knows, hey, we're running something called the belt method. We have something called the invisible list, the hot 28. They understand our vernacular. That's the reason for the second call. And I will absolutely do that in the belt training. The third call, which I'll show in the belt training, is, okay, client, here are the videos I want you to go do. Now, ideally, these are memory joggers. So I don't want to give you, clients, some kind of work where it's like, hey, I want you to go out and produce this high-end 5-minute video. You're like, I don't even know how to video edit. Okay, I'm going to give you memory joggers of content you may already have that you didn't even know would work out, that we can spend $1 a day on, and within 5 to 7 days, know really quick if the content's working. So typically I'm going to have them give me 15 to 20 very specific videos. This is the other thing that I'd love to be able to help you all out as well too, is if you want video ideas or topics or whatever. I used to run call centers for 15 years before I ever got into online sales. So the language pattern of what to say to someone when they get to a certain point, like I really understand that. I'm happy to offer that. We can offer, when we do our third onboarding call, here are the videos that we're looking for. But if you want me to spitball ideas of what's easy for you to pick up your phone, perfect example, we have a client where I'm like, hey, we're doing this webinar that I mentioned before. Why don't you record a 1-minute video on the webinar opt-in to have people book a call? Here's exactly what I want you to say. Client said it. That's where they started to close that $100,000 webinar, which essentially was a course of 4 or 5 days. The last call that we have with the client is, okay, we've gone over the 57-point checklist, advertising primer. We created that. We got that. Great. Hey, we've gotten about 20 videos from you. We're going to write the copy. And then from there, we have the fourth call, which is, hey, we're going to dot the I's, cross the T's, and we're going to get going. And then very much what I want to offer all of you once a week, with you, we do twice a week. Once a week with a client we meet, we talk about numbers for about 10 to 15 minutes because it doesn't take very long to talk about numbers. And then for the next 30 minutes, we talk about, okay, So here's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the opt-in rate has decreased a little bit. Here's what we need to fix on the opt-in rate. I need you to change this. Hey, have you thought about doing a different script? And like our client that just had that big webinar, I'm like, hey, look, we've collected a lot of leads in another funnel. Excuse me for a second. So perfect example for this client did that $100,000 coaching. Hey, we've collected a lot of leads. The problem is they didn't convert in our first funnel. What happens if we figured out another kind of conversion point, meaning an emotional trigger? I recognize something in the market where I'm like, hey, I bet if you say this and show lots of testimonials, you'll get raving people to show up to your webinar. Because we did that, our lead cost went from $15 to $4. And then when we saw a whole bunch of people coming into the webinar, but they weren't booking calls, I'm like, okay, I see a bunch of people are coming into your webinar, but they're not booking calls. I want you to say this exactly. And that's when they recorded that 2-minute video to book even more calls. So a lot of times what will end up happening is we'll go through onboarding, asking clients, hey, I want a bunch of this information so I can run the $1 a day, where I can run my $1 a day strategy, and the $1 a day within 5 to 7 days is going to prove out what kind of content we should be running. So I hope that helps. Let me just look at the questions here real quick. Yep. This is great. This is so great. Okay. So let's go through the pruning of the micro budgets here real quick. I'm going to go ahead and just look at this. Yep. Looking over 7 days. Sorry, when I start talking, I like to walk around. Plus it gets a little hot in the room. Okay. I already turned everything off. That is great. We are done with this. The only thing that I need to do is click on this. Let's check out budgets real quick. Edit, budget, 360. All right. So wait, that's not right. Is that right? We're only spending 360 middle of the funnel? Let me just double check. Oh yeah, I got to turn on some more ads. Oh no, sorry. That's right. I just marked it on here. There we go. This should give me all the leads I'm looking for. I knew that we weren't spending that. We're spending more than that. That's better. 1398. Okay. Number goes right here. 1398. That's the campaign level. Just fills in right here. Okay. It looks like I still have $1,000 to spend. So let's go middle of funnel, or bottom of funnel, but I want you to take a look at middle of funnel first. 25% of my budget is spent in middle of funnel overall, 13% on engagement ads. So it's double than top of funnel, because I just want to make sure that people are seeing our brand all over to make sure that they opt in, become a lead, consider to buy with us and whatnot. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to scroll down to bottom of funnel. Now, just for Drew, you're amazing. Thank you. Yeah. I was going to post that on Facebook as well too. The last time we did an AI training, it was for 8 hours. We thought it was going to be 3 hours. It ended up being 8 hours, and my computer burned up and died, which was really interesting. And I was literally just looking at the time and looking at how many people are here. And it's almost, there's no other way to say this. I'm just going to be very open with you in stats, because I know all these stats. I've been doing it for a while. Typically when someone signs up for a free webinar right now, 15 to 20% show rate, typically 15 to 20% show rate. And half of those people, if you better be entertaining, half of those people will watch you perform on a webinar. If you can get 30% of people to show up to a webinar for an hour, it's huge. It's huge. You get 40% of people to show up. It's, oh my God, I got to stream this from the mountains. 50% is unheard of. We did a 3.5-hour webinar where I think it's close to, I think it was 75% or 77% of people who registered showed up live. Out of the people who showed up live, 40% are still here 6 hours later. What kind of stats is, oh my God. That's why I like the implementation stuff so much more than a webinar. But yeah, thank you very much. So good. So good. Okay. Yeah, I thought I signed up for just 3 and here I am. Yeah, we're trying. Have you seen a difference in the conversions recently between automated webinars and live webinars? Well, let me answer that in a second, Velvet. I want to finish the budget and then I will absolutely answer that. 30% is Elon money. Got that right. Actually, you know what, Velvet? I'm going to answer this question right now. So Velvet's question is, have you seen a difference in the conversions recently between automated webinars and live webinars opt-ins? Same question for offers sold in webinars versus book calls. So here's the thing that I really see, and this is a great question for everyone. Happy to stop and answer this question. So when I like to answer questions, I'm walking around, so I'll be back in a second, but we all just chat. So here's what this looks like overall. So this is a golden statement that I learned at the very first conference that I ever went to. And I saw one of the very first speakers ever talk. His name was Mark Hobison. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. He passed of cancer a couple of years ago, but he said something that was so profound. I've never forgotten it. Your marketing will sell your product. Your product will keep people from refunding. I want you to think about that for a minute. A lot of times people come up to me and they're like, look at my widget. Isn't it pretty? Sure. How am I going to, I got to sell this widget. No, what you got to do is you got to market the widget, talk about the widget for someone to even consider touching the widget. They don't get access to the widget until they pay for it. So a lot of times people are like, man, I'm not really getting people to show up to my webinar. I'm going to change my offer, but nobody's seen your offer yet. That's the problem. So what we want to do is, number one, the landing page, the difference between an automated webinar, hey, you caught this just right in time, or a scheduled webinar. It depends on what you're doing. I have some clients right now, we're doing live webinars. They work out a little bit better, but they have a 20% to 25% show rate. But I will say this, just like you all here, the people that show up, they absolutely crush it with. Absolutely, because people show up live. People who watch the replay, nah. And if you do it right, what we're doing now, the energy of doing the live is so much different from a replay, even though I know all the automation, stuff like that. But there's so many people, the market is just getting used to this type of stuff. Now, I have a client every Saturday for the last 5 years. They've run an automated webinar. It's 4.5 hours long. It's really well done. And that recorded webinar just brings in money every single month or every single week like clockwork. It's really well produced with a really good offer. So the first thing is getting to the landing page just by having where the time of the event plays. Some people know that it's recorded. Some people don't. The market's getting a little more savvy on that. Meaning a little bit more savvy is you got to be really entertaining. That's why I like to do these workshops more than I like to do webinars. I'd rather do a hands-on implementation where we can teach people something versus a raw. That's something else that you may consider. Is there some that you can hold literally a 2 or 3 hour workshop where people can implement something and walk away with something instead of like just an idea, but actually doing something? That's really big. Then the other thing is too, is there's a lot of people who want to sell a $1, $2, $3, $4, $5,000 product. Let's not talk to anybody. Let's just get leads online, get the sales online. I don't want to talk to anybody. Yeah. If you are Frank Kern and you are really good at offers and copy and have the whole thing figured out, yeah, you'll get people who buy $2,000, $3,000 from you from a webinar, but that is so rare and in between unless you have your offer really dialed in. What I strongly encourage people to do is straight up book a call from a webinar. So you can talk to a bunch of customers. Now, if your price point is like $200, $300, $400, $500, $600, $700, or even $1,000, you don't necessarily need to book a call. But a lot more people today are booking a call than they necessarily are clicking the button and spending $2,000 out of their pocket right away. I know everybody wants internet money, but a lot more people want more connection because we moved away from it for so much because of all the online stuff that we're doing. So I'd encourage you that you may consider jumping on the phone with people, really connecting with them one-on-one, building a relationship. Again, we're here 6 hours later because I want to build a relationship with all of you. If we really wanted to, we could have put together a half an hour video that says, hey, go watch this. There's no way we would have got the participation that we did here. So thank you for being here. Thank you. Cole, I thought you might like. That's good. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. I'm just looking at the comments here real quick. Russell Brunson did a live webinar in 18 months. He had 10,000 customers. Yep. Fun little fact. I used to run Russell Brunson's ClickFunnels ads when ClickFunnels very first started. He called me and we ran ads until they took an internal. Sounds like John Assaraf. Yeah. John Assaraf is a friend and may or may not be a client. Same. That's what it is. The teach and implement something. Yep. Same with our live events. That's exactly what Cole does. Absolutely, Cole. Come on, Cole. For the events that you run, the emotional events that you participate in, the closeness that you see with people, like and people decide to accelerate and spend more, to invest more because of the intimate nature that they're doing it. It's just really great. It's really great. I know someone who does $25K a week for years with a simple live webinar for 1 hour. Oh, absolutely. Again, people who dial this stuff in, I love these stories. If you're just getting started on the webinar, I encourage you to book a call. If you find that sweet spot where people just start buying, especially like what Drew's talking about right here, man, having a webinar that consistently performs, what you do is you run it till the wheels fall off. So long story short is there used to be, it depends on the age of the people here. There used to be an infomercial called the Ron Popeil Food Dehydrator. It was a really well-known infomercial. It would show you how to dehydrate all these different types of foods. He was this Ron Popeil salesman. That infomercial ran for 17 years untouched. They would play it and it would make money. Sometimes they would play it in a market and it wouldn't make money. They'd move it to another market. It would just keep on making money. When you get a webinar, it's like getting a gold vein where it's making money. You don't know when the marketing message is going to change, if it's going to be in a week or 2 weeks, or if it's going to last years. If it lasts years, it's like hitting a gold vein that just keeps on serving. You just keep on throwing as much money as you can at it. You don't know ever how long that's going to last, but man, when you get consistent performance over a long time, like it is just brilliant. So that is awesome. That is awesome. We just double check here. Yep. I know someone just right back here. Yep. 100% required testimonials are in hundreds of videos. Yes. And I'm learning, just learning how to market the evidence. You're totally right. Yeah. The testimonials are, man. I know Ron was the man. Absolutely. I had one called, let's see here, going to circle, missed with the campaign structures for the micro budget campaigns. Are all the ads in the same campaign, or is one ad, one headline, long form post per campaign? Oh, so Nick, just to answer that question specific, logins. Yeah. Nick, to answer that question specifically, is the 111 is basically one ad set, one ad. That's the first thing you start off with, one ad set, one ad. And in that one ad, they'll have 5 different headlines and 5 different descriptions, all in that one ad. So 111, you start off in 111.